Attention passionate LAS, Vegas Raiders fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC West and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Las Vegas Raiders' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Las Vegas Raiders fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and LAS, Vegas Raiders FANS. Let's get to the news. Alright, Raiders fans, if you've been paying attention to the NFL over the past few weeks, you know that the offseason has been anything but quiet. There's been a lot of chatter, a lot of rumors, and some surprising moves that could potentially reshape the landscape of the AFC West, and more specifically, how the Las Vegas Raiders approach this upcoming season. And no, I'm not talking about another flashy signing or a draft pick. What's really catching everyone's attention right now is a blockbuster trade scenario involving none other than Jalen Ramsey, the veteran cornerback who has been making headlines since his time with the Miami Dolphins. Now, for those of you who might not be fully tuned into the latest updates, let me set the scene. The Miami Dolphins, a team that's been trying to build a championship-caliber roster, signed Ramsey last year in a huge deal. He was coming off a stellar career, known for his lockdown coverage, his physical style of play, and his undeniable leadership on defense. The Dolphins, always eager to strengthen their secondary, handed Ramsey a 3-year, $72.3 million extension, a deal that made him one of the highest-paid cornerbacks in the league. But as is often the case in the NFL, things haven't gone quite as smoothly as planned. During the recent mandatory minicamp, Ramsey was notably absent from team activities, and that's not just a coincidence. According to NFL Network's Cameron Wolfe, Ramsey was excused from minicamp, which immediately raised eyebrows. Why would a player of his caliber skip minicamp unless there was some underlying issue? Well, reports suggest that Ramsey's relationship with the Dolphins has hit a rough patch. The team's management, led by General Manager Chris Grier, has been actively trying to find a trade partner for Ramsey, who, at 30 years old, still has a lot to offer, but also comes with a hefty price tag and a hefty contract. Here's the interesting part. The Dolphins are eager to move on, but the sticking point has always been finding a team willing to absorb Ramsey's contract, which is structured around a significant salary owed over the next couple of seasons. The Dolphins are essentially trying to recoup some value for a player who, despite his talent, might not be part of their long-term plans given their rebuilding efforts. And that's where the Las Vegas Raiders come into the picture. Yes, you heard right. The Raiders, with their current cap space and their ongoing rebuild, are one of the few teams capable of making a move like this happen. According to CBS Sports, Cody Benjamin, the Raiders could be a prime landing spot for Ramsey, with a proposed trade that would include a 5th-round pick in 2026 in exchange for the cornerback. This isn't just about acquiring a veteran. Ramsey could be a game-changer for the Raiders, providing leadership, experience, and a level of coverage that could elevate the entire secondary. Now, why would Ramsey, a player who's been linked to contending teams like the Los Angeles Rams, consider a move to Las Vegas? From a purely football perspective, the Raiders might not be the immediate title contenders, but for someone like Ramsey, it's about the opportunity to be a difference-maker, to be a key piece in a team that's hungry to build something special. Plus, the Raiders have over $36 million in cap space, according to Over the Cap, which makes them one of the few teams equipped to handle Ramsey's salary without too many restructuring headaches. That's a huge advantage in a league where cap management can make or break your roster-building efforts. And let's not forget the history here. Ramsey was drafted by the Jacksonville Jaguars in 2016 and quickly established himself as one of the league's premier cornerbacks. He was traded to the Rams in 2019 in what was seen as a move to bolster their Super Bowl run. Ramsey has a reputation for being a fierce competitor, a player who thrives in high-pressure situations. His 7 Pro Bowl selections and his reputation as a shutdown corner make him a valuable asset. If he ends up with the Raiders, he wouldn't just be a veteran presence. He'd be a cornerstone on a defense that's looking to take a big step forward. Now, some of you might be thinking, but aren't the Raiders still in a rebuilding phase? That's true to some extent. The team has been recalibrating, trying to find the right mix of young talent and veteran leadership. They've signed some key players in recent years, like Max Crosby, one of the league's most explosive pass rushers, and they've added promising young talent through the draft. But adding a player of Ramsey's caliber could accelerate that process dramatically. His experience, his competitive fire, and his ability to shut down top receivers would immediately upgrade the secondary and give the Raiders a much-needed boost on defense. From the coaching staff's perspective, especially head coach Josh McDaniels, having a player like Ramsey could be a game-changer. McDaniels is known for his offensive expertise, but he's also focused on building a balanced team that can compete in all phases. Adding Ramsey to the mix would send a message to the rest of the league that the Raiders are serious about contending, even if they're still in the rebuild. It's about making bold moves and showing that this team isn't afraid to shake things up to reach the next level. Of course, there are some hurdles to overcome. The Rams, who previously traded Ramsey to Miami, haven't ruled out the possibility of bringing him back, especially since head coach Sean McVay hasn't entirely closed the door on a reunion. But from a strategic standpoint, the Rams might prefer to wait and see how the trade market develops, especially if they're looking for a draft pick or a player to help in their own rebuild. It's also worth noting that Ramsey's future might not just be about the money or the team's immediate success. It's about a new environment, a fresh start, and the chance to be part of something bigger. The Raiders, known for their passionate fan base and their often bold approach, could be an ideal fit for Ramsey's personality and style of play. Las Vegas is a city that embraces big personalities and high-stakes drama, and Ramsey's swagger and confidence would fit right in. Now, what does all this mean for the upcoming season? Well, if Ramsey does indeed land in Las Vegas, the Raiders' defense could see a significant uptick. Their secondary has been a point of concern in recent years, often struggling against top-tier offenses. Adding Ramsey would not only improve their coverage, but also elevate the confidence of the entire defense. Opposing quarterbacks would have to think twice before throwing into his side of the field, and that kind of pressure can open up opportunities for the pass rush and the rest of the secondary. And let's not forget the impact on the team's overall mentality. Ramsey's leadership qualities, his competitive edge, and his relentless pursuit of excellence could inspire the younger players and set a tone for the entire squad. It's about building a culture that demands toughness and accountability, and Ramsey embodies that ethos perfectly. Looking ahead, the Raiders are in a position to make a statement with this potential move. It's about more than just adding a talented player. It's about showing that they're serious about competing at the highest level. The AFC West is fiercely competitive, with the Chiefs, Chargers, and Broncos all vying for supremacy, but a trade for Ramsey could shift the balance of power. It sends a message to the division and the league that the Raiders are not content to sit back. They're ready to contend and win now. And now, Las Vegas Raiders fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential trade? Do you think Ramsey would be the perfect fit for the Raiders? Would he be the missing piece that propels this team into serious playoff contention? Or do you believe it's too much of a gamble, especially given the team's rebuild status? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Raiders. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Las Vegas Raiders news. We're in the thick of it, and with every move, every rumor, we're getting closer to seeing what this team will become in 2024. Thanks for sticking with me, Raiders family, and remember, this is your source for everything Las Vegas Raiders. Stay passionate, stay loud, and let's keep pushing forward together.